He was having a Lindor start to the season, no doubt about it.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't.
He was injured.
He didn't go for a stretch as far as Lindor did.
No, he didn't because he affected the game in other ways Lindor didn't.
Right, by making 7 errors in his first 3 games. But you're right, sure.
And by having 8 home runs.
This is why people have issues with you.
Offensively, he did his job.
Because you were strictly talking about offense right now, and then I made a point to counteract what you just said, and you immediately threw out the defense.
Because you just said other ways of the games than offense.
No, I didn't say.
You said other ways of the game.
No,
what do you
want? He
want?
affected the game in other ways, meaning he was stealing bases, he was still scoring runs.
Yes. And he affected
the game in other ways.
Driving in runs
as well.
He wasn't doing that.
It was his average that was hurting.
Doing that. He literally was.
Francisco Lindor did not add to the Mets.
What are you talking about?
No, the errors.
Nobody see. This is why we take issue because you just try to shift the goalpost mid-sentence, and I called you out on it.
No, I did it. You're making a fool of yourself, first of all, because you're saying that he's going other ways.
I'm making a fool of myself, and Fernando Tatis is top 10 in the league in every offensive statistical category.
That's fine. Let's see if he stays healthy.
But I'm making a fool of myself, and you said he would regress. He's going on.
First of all, he had a terrible 2 months.
Hold on. Let's just clear this up real quick. What Greg is saying that he affected the game in more ways and other ways, he's correct. Because Tatis was still taking bags. He was still hitting home runs. He was struggling with his batting average because he was striking out and not always getting on base. But when he was on base, he was impacting the game. That's how he ends up with 30 runs scored, tied for 8th in the league, because it's only 4 games that he's really gone on this stretch. So he has been productive more than Francisco Lindor, which is true.
Right.
Francisco Lindor went on a hitless streak for 23 at-bats, 24, I think, actually. And he was not, his counting stats are nowhere close to Francisco Lindor. Francisco Lindor is not anywhere close to Fernando Tatis Jr. in any stat right now, because he has not been a contributor the way that Fernando Tatis has, and you can just admit that. Defensively, that's another argument. You can make that.
He said other ways of the game.
No, I was talking strictly.
I understood what you meant.
You clarified that after the fact. That's fine, but don't say that I'm talking out of turn by mentioning defense when you're saying affecting the game in other ways.
But that's not.
Are you a baseball player? Do you understand how the conversation works? You play baseball. You play baseball.
Yes.
If we're talking offense, don't be a dunce. If we're talking offense, and then make it seem like I'm talking about defense.
You said other ways of the game. That's another part of the game.
About offense.
He's affecting the game other ways of the game.
Declan misunderstood. You understand now, so it doesn't matter, actually. That whole point doesn't matter because he wasn't talking defense, he was talking offense.
I'm glad he figured
I knew what he meant. You didn't know what he meant, but now you know what he meant. And so we're all on the same page.
Good.
We're all on the same page. You're Crow. You enjoy it. You deserve it. I believe as far as his health, he hasn't shown any signs since the injury. We hope that he does stay healthy. Fernando Tatis Jr. is going to do what he always does. He's going to hit. All right. If he's going to hit for over 300, maybe not. But those counting stats, the power stats, the man barrels the ball unlike any other player in the MLB. We knew that already from his last 2 seasons. So I don't think that's going to change much.
Let's just see, because we weren't talking about this for 2 months. We were awfully quiet.
No. Stop. I'm not going to let you get away with that before we go. I'm absolutely not going to let you get away with that, because last week you said on Monday that even though you mentioned that his batting average went up 110 points within 2 weeks, that he was going to go back down again. And yet Steph just mentioned to you, since then he's hitting over 700. So for you
in that span,
in 4 games, guys, the prediction,
any major league player that hits
700, it's a 6-game hitting streak.
6-game stretch is a stud. Period. If you could hit that at that level, but for you to sit here and still try to make amends with how ridiculous that notion was is crazy to me, because we have all the numbers in your face and you're still trying to defend the indefensible.
What's the ridiculous notion?
That you just said we weren't talking about this 2 months ago. We'll see if he's doing that in a couple months. What?
We'll see.
What do you mean? We'll see.
Hold on, real quick. Deck, the sample size you're using to say that Tatis can't keep this up is the beginning of the season, because every other time Tatis has been on the field for the last 2 seasons, he's hit. But how many games is that compared to how many games?
I'm just glad they fixed his swing. That's all it is.
Stop taking a small sample size and trying to extrapolate it to something more.
Which is what you did with him in the beginning when you said
there are more. His stats of him producing as a top 10 player in this league are much greater than the beginning of the season.